guys, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. This week we are going flea market shopping and we're heading back to Webster's Swaparama. We've been there once before and we found a ton of really great things. So we're on our way there now to check it out again and see what we can find. We're gonna try this time starting on the opposite side of the flea market because they have a lot of vintage items there and we found that out later in the day last time. It is a rainy day today. We're hoping that there's still a lot of vendors out. Hopefully there won't be as many people, so we'll find some good things. Today we are trying to be a little bit more picky in the things that we're looking for. We'll see what they have today and what we find, but I'm keeping a special eye out for those things. I'm going to take you guys along with us so that you can see the flea market and everything that they have out today, and then we'll do a haul of everything that I get. There's a little windmill. That's so cute. That's cute. This easel. These are so cute. All right, let's do a haul. We went to Webster's Swaparama today. It was raining, so there was only probably about like a quarter of the vendors out that are normally out there. So we didn't get to go to as many of the vintage vendors and antique vendors, but we still got quite a few things. I'm really happy with everything that we got. We didn't get as much as last time, but that's totally fine. I was trying to be a little bit more picky. I went in with some things that I was looking for, and of course I immediately... Nala, do you mind? Thank you. I immediately deviated from that and got other things, but I did get some of the things that I was looking for as well. They just didn't have all the stuff I was looking for. I'm going to show you what I got, and we can kind of just go through it all together. The first thing that we got is a couple of records. Matt picked these out. This is The Years to Remember, the Most Dramatic and Important Newscasts in Radio History. So very on brand format. And then I was there. Eyewitness accounts of momentous occasions, recordings from the BBC Sound Archives. So he got these two. Neither one is music. Both are historical and news events. And also, we don't own a record player. So I guess that's something that he wants to get because he has apparently started collecting records. So we'll be on the hunt for a record player now. If you have any good recommendations for record players that are really good but not crazy expensive, then leave them in the comments below for me so that I can check those out. That would be super helpful. So we got those two records. I think the records were like $2 a piece, so they were pretty inexpensive. And then the first thing that I got was this. This was the first thing to pull me away from the plan that I had to only get things on my list. And I got this chessboard. I just thought it was super, super pretty. I love the wood. I love the tones of the wood. It's like a cool cork on the back, and I just really, really liked it. I grew up playing chess with my dad. He taught me how to play when I was younger, but I haven't played really much as an adult. Sometimes I'll play with my students because I'm a teacher, so they like to play when we have free time. But that's about it. But I do think it's fun. I like to kind of have that challenge. So what I was thinking of, I wanted to make this into a table. I wanted to take some legs from a vintage chair that Matt's parents gave us that they were getting rid of and attach them to the base of this to make a little table. Either those legs, or we recently picked up a table someone was getting rid of, and so I could take the legs off of that, which are a different style, to put onto this. So I'm going to play with both, and I'll probably do a video on that if you guys are interested. But yeah, thought it was really pretty, and I got this for $8. Next up, of course, I got some art. I got this really, really pretty landscape picture. A lot of the vendors at this flea market have really beautiful vintage art with this felt lining or fabric lining. And this is an oil painting. It's a real oil painting. It's not a print. I'm really trying to make sure that when I get art, I get real art rather than prints or remakes. I'm trying to get originals or handmade things. Picked this up and I just thought it was so beautiful. It really gives me like a European coastal feel. I love like this little boat with the houses and style, and of course the frame is gorgeous. So I got this one. The back is like this, and this was $8. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Next up, I got this piece of art, which is a little bit different from my typical style, but I do actually, as much as I love an oil painting, I actually oil paint myself and have done that for a very long time. I really also love sketches like this. I like kind of messy architectural sketches. I just think they're so cool. I like just kind of the freehand vibe of it, that it's not quite as refined as some pieces of art. I just thought this was really pretty. I love the columns. It had like a very Greek vibe to it, and it says 1983 is when this was made. So super pretty, and believe it or not, this qualifies as vintage because vintage is anything from like the 1990s on, which is wild. Vintage is like 30 years is when it starts. So this is actually a vintage piece, even though it's only from 1983. All right, next up. So we had kind of a weird assortment of things this time around because there weren't as many vendors. I was drawn to a different selection of stuff than I normally would have. So we went to a bookstore, like a book vendor at the flea market, and while Matt was looking at the many, many books for a very long time, I found this, and this was just kind of tucked behind the books as a decorative item. I really liked it. It kind of gave me like a rattan vibe. It's obviously just like a, I don't know, some kind of wood that has been etched out in this pattern, but I thought this would be really cool because I have an idea for a project that I want to do to make an electrical box cover that's like decorative and kind of has a rattan look to it and a little shelf. So I thought this would be really cool to be able to do that and kind of have a dupe for rattan, which can be very expensive. I got this, and he actually just gave it to me for free, and yeah, I think it's super cool, and I'm excited to do that project. Make sure you keep an eye out for that because we will be using this in an upcoming project. And I also really like this arch shape. I think it'll be a fun look for the piece that we're doing, but also a good challenge for me because I don't do a lot of arch things with wood. So that'll be fun for me to kind of sort out how I'm going to work with that style. So next, if you have been around for a little bit with my channel, you know that Matt likes to collect old knives. That's kind of a thing for him. He likes old knives and old books, and he gets them whenever we go to flea markets and he sees something special, or if we're traveling, he'll look for some. And so he found an old knife at the flea market. It's like this rusted old thing that he picked up that he wants to display. He got this with some other items for a total of $20. So the other thing that he got with that old knife for $20 together was this tool, and it's quite rusted, but it's still totally functional. So he's going to soak it in rust remover, and he said that it is like a multi-tool. So it's a really heavy metal, and it has a hammer on this end, and it also has some little ribbed lines on this side. And then over here, I guess this would maybe be to like pull out staples or nails or something like that. It has a little crimping thing right here that you could use as a wrench to grip onto flathead screws, or honestly, who knows what. And then up here, he said these are wire cutters. It does a lot of things, and he got this along with the knife for a total of $20. So he was happy with that, and I'm sure we'll both use that tool. And then in that same vein, I got a little tiny knife. He's kind of gotten me onto the knife bandwagon. I never really was big on them, but I like to get little cute ones when we travel sometimes, every once in a while. I'm not anywhere near his level where I like to collect them, but I like little ones. And so he thinks it's funny because I get these really cute ones. This is a Damascus steel one, and so it has these really pretty like wavy lines in it. But honestly, he uses them when we camp and hike and stuff like that. And I mostly just use them to like open snacks when we're out and about. So that is what mine will be used for. And maybe like I'll cut a rope or something if we're camping. Mostly it's just to be cute and to cut open snacks. This was $17, which I thought was pretty good for wood and Damascus steel. And then back to the home decor section, because that is my bread and butter and what I love. I got this, which is some metal little knob things that I thought would be cute to put on the wall and be little hooks that you can hang something from. They have like a brass look to them, which is very much within my vibe and style. And I got this for $5, so I thought that wasn't too bad. I also got this really pretty crystal doorknob. I really like to get doorknobs that are vintage like this when I'm at flea markets. I think it's such a good way to update your space by just swapping out a doorknob. It's so quick and easy and can be really inexpensive if you get them at places like the flea market, and it makes a huge difference on the look of your door and your space. So I got this. It was priced at $15, but I offered him $6 and he took it, so I got this for $6. So I thought that was a pretty sweet deal, because if you look for these brand new, they can be like $40-50 for one. And if you look on Facebook Marketplace, the cheapest that I have seen is 2 for $40, so $20 each. So they can be pretty pricey, or at least in the area I live in, they are. I was really happy with that, $6 for it. And then Matt got this little tool that helps you to nail in nails like in some weird spaces and stuff. You can put the head of the nail right here and hammer and it'll push it down. He got this little guy for $1, pretty good. And then I got these dice, which is a little bit of a different thing for me, but they were really cool, like unusual dice. This one's like a red color, if you can see that, and they're quite large. And then this one has multiple sides and has really cool writing with the numbers. So I got these. I got all 3 of them for $2, and I actually got this for one of my best friends. Her birthday just passed, and so she's really big into like board games and game nights and stuff like that. So I got her some cool different looking dice for her games. And then, not at the flea market, but I also got her like a card shuffler, which she'll be really happy about because she's been wanting one. I will be giving these to her this weekend when I go help her fix her fence. And then the last thing that we got at this flea market is, of course, some old books. Every time we go, you know we're gonna come back with some old books. That is just what we do, what Matt does. So he got quite a few this time. He found a book vendor, the same one that I got this wood rattan sort of thing from, and he really had a lot of good old books, so he picks them up from him. And he got all of these for $20. So it was a pretty good deal. The guy actually had these beautiful brass peacock bookends. They were like curved and had a peacock and like a little landscape scene in them etched out, and they were so pretty, and I really wanted to buy them, but he only had one, and he said he wanted to sell them as a set, but he had the other one he thought at his home and he needed to find it. So he told me that he would go and find it and hold on to them for me for the next time that I'm there. So I'm hoping that next time we go I'll be able to pick those up, because they were just so pretty, and I thought they would be nice as bookends or wall decor or something. They were gorgeous. They like folded down, and because they were vintage bookends, they used to fold down so that when people traveled they could take them with them on cruises or planes and then be able to have their books that they were reading while they were there, which I thought was super cool too. So hopefully next time we go to Webster, he will have that for me and we'll be able to pick it up. In the meantime, Matt got some books. He got A Tale of Two Cities, which is a really pretty one. It has gold edges on the pages. This really pretty inside cover. All the books he got were published between 1800 and 1900. That tends to be the time frame that he looks for, or earlier if he can. So he got that one. He also got the Renaissance, which is this little guy here. And I really like this cover. I like the coloring and the aging. I think it's so pretty, and it has this cool inside page as well. And this one says it was published in 1873. And then the next one that he got is Varieties of Religious Experience. So again, a really pretty cover. It's actually the same cover as the one before it, and this one's published in 1902. So it has like a really pretty kind of silvery gray blue cover. Next up, he got this book called The Nile. Pretty self-explanatory. It's about the Nile, and it's got a good neutral cover, this cool binding on the side, and this one's from 1939. And then the last one he got is the New Century Dictionary. This one is quite large, also quite old, and this one has a copyright of 1946. This one has a really cool cover because it has this like embossed border that is really, really pretty on it. So that'll be a cool one to display. And that's everything that we got. So kind of a smaller haul than our typical, but still quite a few items, a lot of really good things, good decor pieces, and just some project materials as well. So I was really happy with it, especially because it was such a rainy day. So I think we did really well, and everything was a really good price. So yeah, I was really happy with all of it. So as always, let me know if you know anything about the things that we got, if you know the history behind any of it, or if you have these things yourself. I also love hearing what you guys' favorite item was from what we got in our haul today. Leave me a comment and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more like it. I do lots of videos like this on my channel. We go to markets and flea markets and antique stores pretty often, so I love to be able to share that with you guys, and I love to hear if you're enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.